And welcome back, folks. Professor Almeida here to give you a quick overview of your COSA 30 activities. Now, in this class, we are actually working with two different platforms, McGraw-Hill's Connect and SimNet, and you'll need to register with both. If you go to the LBCC bookstore and buy the access card packet, you'll get the access codes for both Connect and SimNet. Also, to make things easier on yourself, I would actually use the same login information when you go to register. I know it's not the best security practice, but again, you'll make things easier for yourself when it comes to support. So, in other words, use the same email address and password for both Connect and SimNet. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into Canvas here and let me show you what to expect. Here's your first week, right? But before we get into that, let me scroll up a bit. We're on the modules page in Canvas, and over to the left you'll see the links to Connect and SimNet where you can go to register. If you have any questions about the registration process, check out the Connect and SimNet information page where I've provided a couple of support links and videos. Moving further down, you'll see that we have other support systems in place. And here's that first week again. Now it seems like there's a lot here because we are actually looking at the 12-week version of COSA 30. For those of you who have registered for my 8 or 12-week sections, those are compressed classes. In other words, we are taking the same 16 weeks worth of material and we're condensing it down into 8. So it's especially crucial that you get registered with SimNet and Connect and hit the ground running as soon as you can and get those points on the scoreboard. Okay, let me show you a couple of assignments here. Starting with the Tech Basics worksheet for the 12-week folks. It's actually due in the first week as a participation requirement. This is what the worksheet looks like. And you'll see that there's quite a bit here because with Tech Basics, as you'll see in the training sim, there is quite a bit to cover. So what I would do is download this worksheet, have it open in Microsoft Word as you work on your training sim. To get started with the Tech Basics training sim, just follow this link here in Canvas. This is what the sim looks like. And again, you'll see it will take some time to cover. So make sure that you allow yourself enough time to complete it. To fill out the worksheet, click on Access Resources, and I would actually start there so that you have a pretty good understanding of what's being covered under Tech Basics. You can expand or collapse these topics as needed. Let me show you what OER looks like as an example. So make sure that you go through these, take notes as needed, and when you're ready, go ahead and move on to the questions. Let me exit out of this real quick so that you see what it looks like when you come back and answer the questions. Okay, so let's launch that training sim again and we'll go to the questions. Now, I've already been playing around with this. So in this case, it's going to say continue questions. Now, you'll get some multiple choice, fill in the blanks. In this case, we have a fill in the blank question. So let's go ahead and get through this. Programs that offer the structure and hardware control necessary to run the computer and its peripheral devices are called blank software. Well, you know what? I don't have any idea. So I'm just going to guess. I'm just going to say operating system. You know, I don't know. What's my confidence? Well, I'm going to be honest and say, well, I don't really know. But you know what? I guessed correctly, right? And you'll see the acceptable answers here: system, operating system, or OS. So be honest with how well you know the answers, because the training sim will actually adapt based on how you answer the questions, okay? So it might not be the same for everyone. All right, moving along. Let's do another one. Okay, I'll click continue, and we have another fill in the blank. The most common OS for personal computers is Microsoft, Windows. Okay, I'm pretty confident about that, and in this case, I'm correct. Here's a multiple choice question. A global nonprofit organization that empowers people to create open resource materials that can be shared or reused is Creative Commons. Okay, well, I kind of know it. So again, just be honest with your questions. So that's your training sim. The quizzes will be very similar. Do pay attention to the number of attempts you have. Okay, so take a little more care when you are going through the quizzes. And again, watch the number of attempts you have with those quizzes. Okay, moving into week 2. let me show you SimNet here. So we have a couple of SimNet assignments, and I've actually created a separate video on how to do your SimNet activities. So let me pause this real quick and show you an example. We'll be right back in a moment. And we're back. So let me show you the SimNet assignment here. And again, there is a separate video on how to do this. I'm going to go ahead and open up the Simbook, but before I do, take a look at this checklist here. You're only responsible for these, right? Wherever you see numbers of tasks, you want to complete all those tasks to get full credit. In this case, we have 26. This is what the Simbook looks like, and this is pretty much your reading material here. Okay, so I'm going to thumb through this real quick. You can see we have the outlines, and as you're moving through the Simbook, you'll see these here. We have show me, guide me, and let me try. To get credit for your Simbook tasks, you do need to complete the let me tries. All right, so here's what show me looks like, and with show me, you just sit back and watch.
To pin an app to the start menu, first click the start button.
Okay, guide me will actually walk you through the steps, okay, and it's going to wait for you. In this case, we'll click on the start button and then advance to the next step, and then you just follow along, okay? When you're ready, go to let me try, and in this case, you have to know how to do this particular task, in this case, pinning the PowerPoint app to the start menu. So I'm going to go ahead and open the start menu, right click on PowerPoint, pin to start, and with that said, we have finished the let me try, and you should see a check mark here. Also, when you go back to your checklist, you'll see that you are one of 26. Go through all the let me tries to get full credit. Your quizzes work the same way as let me try. Okay, a couple other things to note: when you go back into the sim, you can show hints in let me try, and you can make as many mistakes as you want. Not so with the quizzes or exams, as they call them in SimNet. Lastly, we have the projects, and I will be doing separate walkthrough videos for those. Anyway, I hope that this video has helped you out. Good luck with COSA 30. Welcome aboard. Thanks for watching, and let's get through this semester together. Let me know how things go. Take care, folks.